What? I don't know, bro. Fuck it.
Oh my God. So we are here talking about Barbados. Welcome to the MattViolinist podcast. I am MattViolinist. As some of you may know, I'm here with a very special friend of mine, a very special guest, Raymond, a.k.a. Raimundo.
Mateo, what's good, bro?
Chilling, son. I'm chilling. You know, I'm a little exhausted, tired.
Yeah, you don't ever sleep.
I'm finding it harder and harder to find time to sleep. Specifically, it's really difficult for me to rest.
Yeah, but sleep will find you eventually. You don't want sleep to find you at the wrong moment.
When is a wrong moment to find sleep?
Behind the wheel, during an event, mid-intercourse.
What?
Listen.
Mid-intercourse.
Hey, listen, your body gonna shut down, it's gonna shut down on you. So
if that's the case, I need to go see a doctor. My shit shut down on me a few times during intercourse, nigga. Shit.
You gotta rest, bro. You gotta rest.
That's a fact, man. So what's good with you, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. This is new to me. This light is like piercing into my soul, but it's all right. I mean, that's part of the setup. But it's all good.
I mean, at least it's making your beard glisten.
Oh, that's that coconut oil. You heard?
Oh, that's just coconut oil?
Coconut oil.
Don't give up the secrets. Don't give up the secrets.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Stop right there. It's glistening though, it's shining.
That shit is glistening though. I ain't gonna lie.
Facts, man.
Do I have to pause that? Should I pause that? That's not pause.
I don't think it's pause.
All right, pause just in case.
Just in case?
Just in case.
All right. All right, man. You can pause that.
Yo, so before we started the show, Raymond was actually imitating the way that I actually speak when I'm under the influence. Now, for those who have been blessed with the opportunity to see me under the influence, know that I can barely speak English at all when I'm under the influence. So there was one specific time we was in Barbados, and for some strange reason we was in Fighty Walk.
I think was it Fighty Walk? Was it when you were
on stage?
Was it? Yeah,
I was on stage.
He was on stage, yes. And he was like, "How did you get there?" And then we ran. Go ahead, continue your part.
I got on stage, you know, under the influence. We was vibing. Everything was cool. For some strange reason, I turned my back, and there was this bright light in my face. They were doing interviews.
Yes, exactly. And shouts to Cash Photography. Kashanti. I ain't gonna put the full government mouth because she probably will clap me. But yeah, she was on. She grabbed the mic and she was doing what she was doing, and she was talking her talk. And then I was there hyping them up, and then my boy Matt was right next to Cash. Matt then takes the mic from Cash. I'm like, all right, he's about to say his thing
without consent.
And then these are the words that uttered out of his mouth. In that order. Literally in that order. And mind you,
the funny shit about it, I was probably just trying to say my name. Hi, how you doing? My name is Matt.
Mind you, I'm thinking all right, he's about to say something. It's loud. We're at the stage. Bass is bumping. So you got to speak clear. You must enunciate yourself. He enunciated. And then Cash smiled and said, and then I'm like 2-3 feet away. I'm like, what? And
my God.
And that was it. From there, he was known as, what's his name? I don't know his name.
Who?
The Thornberry.
I
forgot his name. The wild one. I forgot his name.
I think he is the Wild Thornberry.
Then that
I don't know his name though, but whatever.
Yeah, that was Matt's spirit animal.
But what's funny is I actually met you in Barbados.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first time I actually really, really met you. I heard about you through Jamal and Blackout. But Barbados was when I first met you, and I'm just like, who? First of all, you was mad tall. You're the tallest one amongst the dwarves.
Yeah, I'm 6'5". I mean, that's tall.
That's extra tall.
I mean,
and one thing I noticed about you is that you, at Fighty Walk, that same fete, I figured out that you show your love and appreciation of people by smacking them in the face.
In the face?
Do you smack the shit out of people in the face? The people that you fuck with?
Probably maybe on their back.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you're right. I do. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I had to stop doing that because, I got reprimanded for one time doing that. But
are you serious?
Yeah, I got slapped back twice as hard. and I wanted to fight, but I couldn't fight because that's like my best friend.
Why?
So,
Okay, you have to explain to me what gives you the urge to smack people when you're under the influence. I love you. Let me just smack the shit out of you one time. Just possessed by the spirit?
yes, possessed by spirit. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. You know when you in the zone, and then you guys, you under the influence, and then you just like run up on your mans, pause, and just be like, "Yo, bro," and they be like, "Yo, bro." And you get that energy, you get amped up,
right?
And then I just slap in the face. You know the frat boys, they be slapping each other in the face.
We're not a frat, bro.
I know, but it's kind of like that kind of environment, but I stopped doing it, I don't want to fight nobody, so.
You smack the shit out of some people. Like, and I've watched you do it, I'm just like, oh, nah. Raymond is out here bugging.
It's out of love, though.
It's out of love, right?
It's out of love, it's out of love. It's out of
Same
love.
shit that our parents be saying, right?
They are our parents.
Parents be lying, son. I swear to God. They don't be beating your ass and smacking you and shit like that out of love. They fucking lying.
I mean, yes, the outcome, to make you who you are is out of love. But right then and there, they're just pissed off of whatever you did.
Right. I think that you can discipline kids without beating their ass.
Without corporal punishment?
Without physical punishment.
You can, but but it has to be effective. It depends. It has to be effective.
And I'm not here saying that like physical punishment is like out the question. I'm not saying that you should not beat your kids. I don't think that should be the first resort.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It sometimes depends on the environment where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes like if Billy, Bobby, Sarah, Lakeisha, or I don't know, they in the store or an environment where, you can't take anything from them or put them in the corner or something like that. And, they're acting up. Maybe like you give them that look. They ain't catching that look. Or you might little pinch, a little quick pow.
Ear pull.
Backside. A little ear pull. Something slight that's not, like, oh my God, call ACS type of shit.
I remember one time I actually got into a lot of trouble in elementary school because my mom worked in the same school that I was going to school at, which was the fucking worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the fucking worst because obviously, I mean, for those who don't know, I went to elementary school in the Bronx, PS 65. So you wasn't really learning much. It was just like a huge babysitting center. They're just trying to manage personalities, and maybe on one day you might get some instruction out.
Yeah.
So there was one time like I just had mad bad gas. Like I was farting up a storm, but it was them joints that like they were coming frequently and them joints stunk. Like it could kill flies if it could.
Damn.
Yeah, it was bad.
Flies are attracted to the shit too.
Yeah.
That's
it will knock them the fuck out.
That's crazy.
Right? So I purposely went to the corner of the room to go fart. So I know it was gonna be some killer shit. Right? I went to the corner of the room. My teacher walked over mad fast, and he was trying to tell me something, and he walked right into it. And then he was like super duper like flabbergasted, like, and it's just like, yo, that shit had me dying out laughing, like laugh attack kind of laughing, right?
Yeah.
So he got upset about that, and then he called my mom. So my mom came upstairs, and I was laughing still, and then I guess she was just upset. She didn't feel like dealing with it or nothing like that, and she pulled the shit out of my ear, and I was tight. I'm like, so you mean to tell me I really just got in trouble for farting?
Hey, like I said, mom could have been upset that day.
Who knows what she was going through?
You probably pissed her off that week. You don't even know.
That's not an excuse for me getting my ear pulled for farting.
Listen, you probably pissed her off that week. She didn't do anything to you all week. She was letting it slide until she just said, "Nah, fuck it," and she ripped you a new one.
I was ripping a new one in that classroom. I was wilding today, yo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yo.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, man. That's.
I see you got some rings on, bro.
Yeah, man.
What that is, man? What that is? That's part of your collection.
Yeah. So one of them is actually this one here is my trip to Tokyo 2016. I love Japanese people, even if you don't love us all the time, but Japanese are cool. I've always been infatuated with Japanese culture. So I took a trip to Tokyo, picked this up at a kind of like a consignment shop. Pretty dope designer. It's Mastermind Japan. This actually is my own ring. Yeah. I designed it. This is my first sample that I designed three years ago. Sterling silver, onyx, a lot of details in it, what have you. A lot of meaning. We can get into that a little bit later, but
No, we can actually jump into it now. What made you jump into like the jewelry business?
Well, got me into jewelry. Well, let's start by I'm into fashion altogether. And my mother is kind of like where I get a lot of it from. So growing up, my mom was always into shoes and bags. Predominantly those two things, like shoes and bags were her thing. And she always had a lot of like jewelry. So a mixture of like fine jewelry and a lot of costume jewelry and stuff like that too. So wherever when I was younger, we would go out to any kind of formal gathering. We wear our traditional garments, our lace and things like that. And mom was always, I ain't gonna lie, mom's fly. Everyone toots their parents' horns like that, but like legit, like a lot of people can't really fuck with my mom's. But
Oh, she got it like that.
yeah, she's calmed down over the years, but like back in those days, like my mom was kind of known like in that scene for like being dressed in a certain way and things like that.
Nigerian background?
Nigerian background, yeah. So yeah, growing up, always looking at that. I never really jumped into affinity of like, or like clothes and fashion is my thing in a sense when I was really young, but it was always a sense of like being creative, creating things and stuff like that. So just like when I was young, I always used to draw and sketch up. Like I would trace out, like Pokemon. Like I will get a piece of paper, tracing paper, trace the Pokemon, glue it on cardboard, cut it out, and then cut out two Pokemon and like actually have like fake battles with the fucking cutouts and shit like that. Oh no, I knocked the
No,
mic
you
down.
good. Yeah.
I'll knock it. I'll like fight with it. And then kind of grew from that into like sketching my own comics and stuff like that, and sketching comics from middle school going into high school. Then I started getting into clothes in high school. Like first getting into sneakers and stuff like that because my mom wasn't really going out buying, I guess like $120, $124 Jordans.
Nobody's parents were.
Spend that kind
That
of
shit
money.
was a dub. That
shit
shit
was
was
crazy.
happening.
So
Yeah.
like being that kid, all these other kids, I went to middle school, junior high with like a bunch of Spanish kids. So there's a lot of Spanish, Caucasian kids, Asian kids.
What borough?
Huh?
What borough did you go to school in?
Queens. So
Queens?
I went to IS-73 in MassBeth. So that was all like Caucasian, white, Asian. So the sneaker culture was like, it was in there. It was heavy at that time. And me, I'm just going to school in like my Air Force 2s and like I don't know, like whatever I was wearing at the time. I don't know, nothing really crazy until like 7th grade. I was like, all right, yeah, now like, all right, ma, don't buy me 3 of these, buy me sneakers. Like,
Buy me one of these.
Just buy me one good one. So like, I'll just get my one good sneaker and then kind of build around that. And that's why I kind of got into fashion and speeding up through high school, like really getting into fashion, really following like streetwear culture and things like that. Being a sneakerhead, like I was a real big SB dunk head. So I had a bunch of sneakers to collect.
They need to bring back the SB Dunks, by the way.
They're back actually. I mean, they are back. It's kind of like it's back, but then again, it's not back because if you're a real sneakerhead, a real dunk head, like you still have your sneakers. You still have like your Dinosaur Juniors and your Fender Basses and push heads from like way back. Now it's just like, oh, everyone's on the Jordan wave, everyone's on all the the Adidas and stuff like that, and like dunks is kind of slowly coming back. Travis Scott is really pushing the dunk wave coming back. So people are paying attention to dunks again now because of that shift into it. So people are like, yo, I've been have all these. Like you guys are buying these new Jordans and dunks, these new dunks. Like
I want to get off the topic real quick.
Yeah.
I stopped collecting sneakers because I couldn't stand waiting online all night trying to get a pair of sneakers. Like I'm a grown ass man. What the fuck am I doing waiting on somebody's line trying to pay $175 for some kicks, bro?
They did it. That's part of the culture. That's part of it. That's part of the yo, I camped out X amount of hours, X days to get these sneakers. You didn't do it. I did it. I got it.
And I got it.
And I got it.
Which
So,
makes these sneakers more valuable
that's
than
more valuable. But this day and age, you have bots. You have, all these shit on the internet. They auto buy it for you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people still can't, but the resale culture is that's like a whole nother topic, But resale culture is crazy, like crazy. Like they just kill the essence of sneaker culture and stuff like that. But
it's hype beast culture now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. It's hype
so
beast
I just got out of it. The shit just got too expensive. I got tired of waiting on lines. I ain't have no connects like that. I'm sure I probably would have had them now, but I was way younger. I had to be like 19, between 19 and like 21.
Yeah.
Really doing it.
Yeah.
So now I just stick with my Stan Smiths, Converse.
Yeah, a lot of that's changed. Like fashion's a whole other thing, man. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, a lot has changed. A lot has changed over the years. But yeah, like I was like, get back to with the whole me getting into jewelry. So being fashion is part of my thing, and then getting to college. When I first got to college, my freshman year, I linked up with a few people who design clothes and stuff like that, and I started designing clothes with them. It was me and two other guys, and we started a brand. It's called Hieroglyphics, and it was like menswear, kind of like street avant-garde menswear infused with kind of like Egyptian theme.
I don't know what avant-garde means.
Avant-garde is, it's kind of difficult. It's not a difficult concept.
All right, never mind.
I don't know the exact definition, but yeah, it's bad for me to say not no definition. I'm into fashion, but I know what it is exactly. If I start naming designers, you won't like Comme des Garçons and say avant-garde is like Julius and you can say Rick Owens is fairly avant-garde too.
Mm-hmm.
Yoji Yamamoto, certain is like his main line. Certain pieces on main line. He says avant-garde. Christian Powell as well. There's other brands and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what kind of was designing, and I kind of focused on the accessory portion of it. So, and then I used to go to like Queens Center Mall. They would have these little pop-ups, and they have like little Buddhas and beads and stuff like that, and necklaces and stuff like that. So I used to buy those and wear them. I used to have like a super long red one, and people used to call me Okuma and shit. I had it wrapped around the neck and everything, and so I used to wear the bracelets and like the beads and stuff like that. So I got to a point where when I was designing with them and making a session, I'm like, yo, I'll make my own stuff. So I found this spot in the city where there's some material. I go to material, buy my own stuff, make it, design it, do stuff like that. And then like after a year and a half of designing with them, we went our own ways. And I was kind of like, do I want to continue making clothing, or do I kind of want to get a different field, or like do I want to get into accessories? And then I started making. Do you remember? There was like a good wave, a good point where there's little colored beads that you iron and you melt together, and you can make like stuff out of it.
Go on.
They're called perler beads.
Perler beads.
Yeah, it was big like a couple of years ago, for like a few years. So you have like a little pegboard about yay big, and then you put like little colored beads in sequence. So like 8-bit, like you know how 8-bit, like Super Mario 8-bit and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like you put the colored beads in the form that forms like Mario.
Right.
And then you would take I think a piece of wax paper, put it over the beads, take an iron it, the beads will melt and fuse together, and then create what the image you're making.
Got you.
So I did that for like a semester. Made a few bucks from it, and I was like, you know what, I want to get into doing something a little bit more. So I kind of focused on making beaded bracelets. So a lot of beaded bracelets and stuff like that. Just stretch bracelets, making it. And people were like, oh man, you should do something. I was like, I'm just doing whatever. So out of school, towards like my last year, I was like, yeah, let me do something about it. Let me kind of work into it. And the transformation from my mindset then to now, and like figuring out the direction I want to go with it, had a lot of changes. Like, do I just want to focus on beads? It was just really good with beads and stuff like that, and like it didn't have much meaning behind it. It didn't have much meaning behind it. It was just kind of like, oh, it looks cool, looks nice, I'll wear it, I'll make it, stuff like that. And eventually, like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I kind of had an idea of the direction we want to go. Where like I want to create something off of my namesake and put myself into the brand, so that represents myself through the brand and through my jewelry. And I was like, you know what, let me elevate it to like introduce like fine metals and things like that, so silver and golds and stuff like that. And as I elevated it and I continued to learn more about my own culture, my own heritage and stuff like that, and I taught myself a lot, based off just off my last name, my heritage, my culture, what I want to put into the brand. Taught myself a lot of things, and that reflected into my jewelry now and the whole premise of the brand and stuff like that. So yeah, that kind of fast forward, I taught myself jewelry design over the years, when it comes to sketching, specifications, materials, things like that. I understand the process of the casting and molds and stuff like that. I don't do it myself by hand. I do work with somebody, and it's actually God sent to be my friend, a good boy named Winston. Shout out Winston. His dad is he's a jewelry designer. He's a jeweler himself, and he's from Jamaica. And he has 25 years of jewelry experience.
So he's like pretty well versed in it.
So he's pretty well versed in the molding, the casting, doing all that stuff, hand making the work, hand making jewelry and stuff like that. So I realized, and Winston would always tell me from high school, like, yo, bro, my dad's a jeweler, da da da. And a couple years ago, I was like, oh man, because when I wanted to start making stuff in silver and gold, I was like, man, where do I go? Like, who can I, find a manufacturer in the city? But then it's like, you got to come correct with a lot of things, and I wasn't at that point yet. So like, I need somewhere I can go where I can work on with somebody one-on-one, so I can learn as I'm going. And I ran to him, and then we've been creating pieces ever since then.
So have you ran into like any challenges when it comes to like making the jewelry or selling the jewelry? Have like people like taking you on pretty serious? Are people taking you serious as like a business owner and a businessman?
I believe people take. That's a good question, because I think people believe that I am serious about it. I think they take me serious as a person, that they know me, they take me serious about it, but they don't take maybe the business, the validity of the business serious. In the sense of maybe they don't believe so much in the business, because business is popping left and right. Like, we create businesses like crazy everywhere.
Right.
And this day and age is like the era of the entrepreneur, and which is nothing wrong with that. Great, more power to everybody who's doing their thing out there. But it's like everyone is doing it. Everyone is trying to do their own thing and make their own money and make their own dollar. You know, and so to them, people who really know me, like, they know me, they understand. And that also in combination with what I'm doing, it's fine jewelry. Fine jewelry is not like a t-shirt. It's not a hat or a sweater or a sweatshirt or a hoodie. Like, nothing against those brands or anything like that who create t-shirts and stuff like that. My jewelry is not easily accessible right away. It's not something you can wake up, oh, that looks cool. How much is that? All right, I'll buy it. I just, like, you see a t-shirt, oh, my boy started a brand. Oh, that shirt is $35, $40. All right, I can throw that and support and buy it. You get what I'm saying? And then the shirt, they can buy it, wear it once, and then that's it. They're buying it for the support, not buying it because they really, really like the product. Jewelry is a different avenue. Fine jewelry is a different avenue because it's a much higher price point. You're paying for a commodity, honestly, whether it's silver or gold, and it's something you invest in. It's more an emotionally driven purchase. So it will look appeasing to the eye, but then when you see that price, you're like, damn. You have to understand what goes into the product.
Yeah, I think jewelry, unlike a lot of other clothing products, you have to like kind of invest in.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you said the whole thing about like you're emotionally attached to it. Right.
Yep.
And honestly, like going into your jewelry, like I went on your page and everything. What's cool about it is that I didn't catch gimmick vibes. Like, it's not something that's just like, oh, I just want to create like a jewelry brand. So I'm just gonna like throw some cheap shit together and just put it out there, throw it up at a high price point, and say it's a black business and you got to support it because it's a black business. It's
Right.
like, nah,
Right.
you put some time into this. You put some effort. You put some money behind it.
Yeah.
Even coming down to the presentation as far as like how you push the brand and everything. I'm just like, oh, this is some Raymond's onto some good shit, man.
Yeah, because when you want to create something meaningful, you have to put time and effort and your soul into it.
Mm-hmm.
And in any craft, in music, in entertainment, in podcasting, in clothing, anything, cooking, whatever it is, if you really want it to be taken seriously, you really want it to be at a certain caliber, you have to put that into it. And it's very easy to make jewelry cheap.
So are there any like pet peeves of yours when it comes to other people who are into the jewelry business who may be starting up, or trends that you're just like, I don't understand why this is so popular now or so expensive now? Or
not really, because, well, for one, there's not many people doing what I do. And I say people in the sense of my peers. Being an African American man, or being a black person in America or here.
Yeah, because you're an American.
We won't get. That's.
I've never heard of the nation of African America.
Here we go. But being a black man in America, one of the things that we do most, like we try to be a rapper, trying to play a sport, try to, start a clothing brand or whatever the case may be, But when it comes to jewelry, this level of jewelry, very few. Very, 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 very few. So for me to say that, what was my pet peeve about brands coming up, there's not many brands coming up. There are some brands who do make lower end jewelry. I don't say lower end, more entry level jewelry, more easily accessible, who do utilize, the culture in a sense. They utilize the black culture with their jewelry. So I'll be honest, I don't want to sound like...
No, you can't. I mean...
Yeah, but it's generic to me. Mm-hmm. The use of, like Egyptian culture as African. It is African, yes.
It is.
But to say that, to make a piece or make jewelry like, Cleopatra head or a Ra head or a Pharaoh head or, the Ankh or, some of those symbols that we well know, that's well known
mm-hmm.
through Egyptian culture and hieroglyphs and stuff like that, and say like, this is Africa, like that's it.
That's it. That's all you need to know about.
That's all you need to know. Or jewelry that has the shape of the continent of Africa.
Right.
Like, shit like that is like, that shit's weak. Like, to me, that shit is whack. And like, Africa's a continent. All the countries in Africa, like, I always thought over the later years, I'm like, how can brands who want to showcase Africa or represent Africa, whether it's clothing, a clothing brand, jewelry brand, things like that, only show like Egypt, or only show like the safari, like mm-hmm. they show lions and zebras and elephants, like, oh, this is Africa, like.
And people don't understand how huge Africa really is. People don't understand that geographically, like, it's misrepresented on maps. It's that size on maps, so everything can fit on one piece of paper.
Bro.
But geographically speaking, all the continents can fit inside of Africa.
Bro.
And that's insane.
It's so crazy because, like, honestly, I believe, God willing, like, my brand can really last and go beyond my life here and on this earth, because a lot of my pieces now, like, is just centered in Nigeria. Then let's narrow it down, centered more around Igbo, mm-hmm. with some Yoruba influences, right? The 4 major tribes in Nigeria is Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and Benin. Those are like the 4 massive. I haven't touched Benin, I haven't touched Hausa mm-hmm. culture. I barely just started scraping the surface of Igbo. And then Yoruba is just like something I'm touching into. And that's just like some of the pieces I've created now and what I have now. So imagine just getting into...
Keep talking about that.
Oh, okay. So imagine just getting into you know, more. Yeah, I gotta do your thing, man. Yeah. So imagine us getting into more, like deeper into each of those like tribes alone. Like that can go on for like months, years, right?
It's not this broad stroke of just like
it's not this broad stroke like, oh, this is one thing everywhere. Like I have sketches and ideas of working on things of Morocco and Kenya, and of course dabbling in Egypt, but Egypt in a different light, like not just focused on what's known and stuff like that. Ghana and Senegal and Mali. Like I have all these references that I one day want to tackle and approach because Africa is just rich in history and culture. Like every country has so much culture, and why can't you draw inspiration from that? Why can't you pick a country that's not well known? Like go to Senegal, go to Nairobi, go to I don't know. There's so many places you can go and learn about their history, learn about the culture, learn about their arts. You can pull some arts and create beautiful things from it, and that bothers me. Like that was like there's nothing like that.
You know what's interesting too, like, and I feel like that's the important part about entrepreneurs or musicians or anything. If there's a hole in the market, instead of saying why don't they shed light on that, why don't you just do it?
Right.
If you're already into it, you're already interested in it, just do it.
Yeah.
And if it's just like you're speaking so much on it, you're pretty well versed on it enough to do a good job of it, not to just do some generic shit that's just gonna sell, make a quick buck, and then you're on to the next.
Right.
You know.
Right.
That's some dope shit though. That's some really cool shit.
Trying, man.
You're not trying? Yo, I always tell people, stop saying that you're trying because you either do or you don't.
Well, yeah, I'm doing it.
You're definitely doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing it. So, yeah, I'm definitely doing it. And like I said, I understand, especially my immediate peers, is not something that's easily accessible to everybody that can just jump in and grab something. But I've had a few pieces sold, and I have a few people, and I have a bunch of people who appreciate the brand and understand the direction I'm going. And it's just like a matter of time for them where they reach a point where they can afford it and things like that. But also just elevating my brand to where that, like, hey guys, like you don't have to go to this brand or that brand or this brand and flaunt it. Oh, you can if you want to, but there's also a brand that does this that you can actually identify with. Like those jewelry you're getting, like it's something you emotionally enjoy. You purchase that ring, that earring, that necklace, that bracelet that looks nice, that's in X material, but then you have something that means this and you enjoy it.
Right.
And you like the way it looks and all this stuff, but you can identify with it as well.
So are they, I mean, are you supposed to even talk about this? Are there any like particular ways that you decided to brand, your products? Like, did you put it on any like celebrities or big time faces or anything, or?
As of right now, no big time celebrities, stuff like that. I do want to, there's certain celebrities that I do want to, have them wearing my stuff. Like, I don't want also, it's so funny, like, I don't want my brand to be the next hot thing before it actually solidifies itself. And what I mean by that is there are brands who rise to the top and they hit a high point and it's like, man, everybody will, because Rihanna was wearing it, Jay-Z's wearing it, Kanye or Idris Elba or any of these celebrities and stuff like that wearing it, and then it's like it shoots up so high, but you have to remember, like, the celebrities are the ones who put on the map for you. So if your celebrities are not wearing it anymore, it's like, okay, is it still hot? Like the validity of the brand is merited by who's wearing it and who's who and things like that. I want my brand to be solidified, solid, to have a solid cult following, pretty much, who is going to be like, I don't care if so and so wears it.
I like it. It's high quality shit.
So I'm gonna buy it. So I'm gonna wear it. If some so and so wears it, like, oh, took them long enough to get on it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I've been buying this person's stuff.
So you want validity in the product amongst the people before it's a trend. You don't want the validity to come because of the trend. Because of trend,
exactly.
Because trends die.
Trends die. Brand die.
Makes sense.
One major example I was reading up on. I'm not sure. You remember a brand called N Nior?
No, I'm not even gonna act like I do.
You definitely seen it. a baby back in like 20. Oh man, remember teaser snapbacks?
Yes.
Yes. So that era, like around that time, there was a brand who made they call Endor. They made leather sweatpants. If you remember the whole leather sweatpant wave, some years ago.
Do I remember the leather sweatpant wave?
Yes.
I do not remember anybody around me
What?
wearing leather sweatpants.
Okay. So Endor was a brand, American brand that they designed the first like leather sweatpant. Like they were the originator of the leather sweatpants, and it was these two guys, and they designed it. And basically, one of the homeboys was a designer. Well, the homeboy, he's a colleague. He came into one of the stores, and then he was like, he's looking for stuff to style Kanye with. And they picked up one of the leather sweatpants, gave it to Kanye. Kanye was like, "Yo, I want that." So Kanye wore it in he wore it on his what's that music video with him and 2 Chainz, Big Booty. All I want for my birthday. Yeah. So he wore the sweatpants in there, the leather tank top in there. He wore the leather sweatpants in another music video. He wore leather sweatpants on his tour when he's performed. So and then 2 Chainz was wearing it, Big Sean was wearing it, Pharrell was wearing it, Jay-Z, Rihanna. So it just like it got massive. And because I told myself, I'm like, yo, where's Endor? Like I haven't heard from them. So they tried to. It got so big so fast that they try to keep up with demand and stuff like that, and portray a certain life, a certain way that the brand is, partying with the celebrities and stuff like that. That they eventually had to really stop the brand. They had to stop it like in 2016, and they tried to revive it again in 2018, but it with a different outlook because because that leather sweatpant wasn't really the focus of the brand. That leather sweatpant was just part of a collection that they wanted to release.
Right, and then it just caught a lick.
It just caught a lick, and it took over everything. So they had leather shirts, leather sweatshirts, leather tanks, leather sweatpants, and they just kind of built it around there. And then a lot of logistics things happened and blah blah blah, and then it basically died pretty much. And I read and I was like, damn. And is a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Like all these brands that these celebrities wear, they're already solidified. Like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Prada, like none of these people were born when these brands was out. Like all your favorite rappers or artists and stuff like that, they weren't even in existence where these brands was solidifying themselves. So they're even already solidified. These fashion houses are super old. These like Tiffany's and Cartier and Harry Winston, like all these fine jewelry brands, they've been doing this shit for decades, if not hundreds of years. Like over 100 years they've been doing it. So when they then know like, oh, what is high quality, what is luxury, what is fine, they go look for them and then they wear it rather than us looking for them.
Got you. And I remember you asked me this question on the way. You asked me, well, you was telling me about a question you asked somebody else. What is luxury?
Yeah.
So when I think about that, matter of fact, what do you think luxury is? 'Cause that's one of those questions you can ask 10 different people. You're gonna get 10 different answers.
Yeah.
You know.
Luxury in a sense is well, to me personally, I mean, of course there's an actual definition for it, but luxury to me is the highest sense, or the highest sense of yourself, in any facet. So, but I guess in the sense of jewelry or apparel or outwardness, stuff like that, you want the best for yourself, and the best is going to be represented in what you as a consumer, wear, eat, consume, things that you do, the lifestyle you want to live, is luxurious, is opulent, is a certain caliber. So for something to be luxury, it has to give you that sense. It has to give you that sense. When you obtain it, it kind of gives you that feeling, that level of, I'm the best version of myself. Not saying that whatever that is makes you that person.
It's an extension.
It's an extension. Correct. It's an extension. Whatever you do, you work your ass off. You made it in life. This and this and that. I want to have a suit that is an extension of me doing that. I want to live in a certain house as an extension of that. Whatever the case would be. maybe suits or watches or things is not everybody's thing, but certain things would be for you. Like it's gonna show in some form of fashion. Where you live, the type of house you have, whatever you eat, car you drive, watch, jewelry, clothing, things like that. So luxury is like the highest sense of yourself, putting in that level, and putting you at that level of how you represent yourself.
Now that makes me think too. Like, is there ever a such thing as luxury music? If it's the best version of yourself, can you consider something to be luxury music or?
Luxury music, in the sense of you as an artist or as a consumer.
I'm just talking about generally.
In generally.
Like, I know there's different levels to it. Like, can it be luxury music based on the person who created it? Is it luxury music based on the person who's listening and actually buying it? You know.
As a creator, yeah, I mean you should believe your stuff is luxury music. I mean, you're making it.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting out there, you're putting your heart, you're putting your soul into it. You should believe that, then this is the best shit I'm putting out. So like this shit is luxury. What you're hearing is luxury to your ear. The level of what luxury could be, it can be subjective. To somebody who only fucks with like drill music, they could say Chief Keef or like Bobby Shmurda is like luxury music to them. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But somebody who, who's a thinking person, they can think that Common or Kendrick Lamar or Erykah Badu is like luxury music to them, and they'll think that drill shit is like, oh, that shit is trash, and vice versa.
Shit, I mean, if you ask me, I still think D. Cole is luxury music.
Who?
D. Cole. And speaking of D. Cole,
yo.
You've never smoked me in a battle, by the way.
Bro, listen.
Yo, for those who don't know, right?
Oh, shit.
So Raymond used to get light back in the day, right? So when I first met him, we used to always just joke around, we just started playing mad D Cole shit, started getting light. And then the talk had to come up that Raymond would smoke me in a battle, which he never did. And I told him to put his rent up in this battle, and he never put his money up.
Listen, we did battle.
We ain't battle.
We did have it. We had a little stint.
You know what I don't count?
We had a stint at that party in the city.
You know what that don't count? Yo, Raymond had me drinking bleach water. I don't even know what that concoction was made of, but that shit tasted like bleach water and it had me fried.
Listen,
so you can't expect me to battle you under the influence of bleach water.
We all had it and we was lit. So, and I bust a move, fried you. Niggas ran. Niggas said, "Oh!" Niggas ran. I wish they caught that shit on camera because that shit was lit. I cooked them.
You did not cook me, bro.
And then he was like, "Nah, we gonna battle for real." I'm like, "All right." So then come to his block party barbecue shindig. He had, they had the music going and whatever. He did his little thing. I did my little thing, and then I don't know what happened, but it ain't go down.
Now you don't know. Now you don't know what happened.
You ain't cook me though. You ain't do nothing to cook me, bro. You ain't do nothing. Man. So if you want to call it how you want to call it, is a 1-1. You can say that.
I'm just saying
because I ain't do nothing.
It's 1-1.
If you say it's 1-1, I ain't do nothing.
You ain't beat me the last time.
You ran off, bro. What you talking about?
I ran off because I was under the influence of bleach water.
Here we go. I did the move. I jumped off the wall, leg hop, bro. What you talking about? First
of all, you like 6'12". You don't need to be jumping off a no.
Thank you. You gonna see a 6'5" nigga jump off the wall, leg hopping, you be like, what? You done? And we drunk? Come on, bro. Cook. So you got fried.
I did not get fried.
You got fried.
I did not.
And then we was outside. Yeah, I ain't do much of nothing. We was chilling. All right, whatever you want. You got that?
I bet. So game 3.
All right, so it doesn't matter.
What's the stakes? Putting up your rent?
Listen, this is on camera.
All right.
We gonna talk about this.
All right, Mo.
I was like, yeah.
All right, Mo. We're gonna sign these contracts soon too.
Sign contracts. Yeah. Sign contracts.
Oh my God, you ain't spoke me though. I just want to make sure that it's very clear and understood.
I cooked you. It's all right. Cooked.
Can you explain what was in that bleach water that you gave me?
It was Ray Nephew, and then it was some kind of like limeade, but it was kind of like some healthy shit, some healthy limeade.
It was something. I know it had monk in it.
Yeah. It was sweetened with monk fruit. That's what it was.
So that
monk fruit kind of made it give it kind of like a I don't know what to call it, but it was interesting.
It kind of had like an armpit aroma.
You're OD. It wasn't an armpit aroma.
It definitely was. It gives me like kind of like a similar aroma of like guava, like just like raw guava juice. It smells. It smells like an armpit, not like a dirty, sweaty, musty armpit, but like an armpit that just has no deodorant on it. Like you know what I mean. Like I'm just doing a little housework, wash your dishes, take out your garbage. You go smell your armpit. That's what guava smells like to me, and that's what that monk fruit shit smelled like to me. That shit was this.
It wasn't bad, bro. Everyone had it. Everyone was chilling. You was the only one, all right?
So you set me up pretty much. You set me up for that battle then.
I drank it too.
See, that's the only way that you could beat me, bro.
I drank it too. What are you talking about?
It don't matter. You knew that I could not handle that drink.
How did I know if you never had it?
Because nobody drinks bleach water to get lit.
Because you won't let this shit go. Because you won't admit that you got cooked.
I did not get cooked.
All right, bro.
All right, Mo.
Whatever you saying, man. Whatever you saying, man.
Anyway, going back to your jewelry, man. Where can people find your stuff at?
You can find it on my website, www.egbo.collections, EGBO collections with an S.com. You can follow me on Instagram as well. Well, my business page is Egbo, I think it's _ Hold on. Yeah, Egbo _ collections. It's my Instagram. Yeah, so you can take a look at the website, indulge in it. Have a lot of new content on the way. New jewelry is coming as well. But yeah, that's where you can take a look. This is new as well. New stuff, but it's kind of like a one of one. Little choker I got over here too. But yeah.
It's dope shit. Any more shit you want to talk?
I don't know, man. You told me this is your joint, man. This is your joint.
I mean, we can talk about whatever, man. You know.
It's your shit, man.
Nah, I mean, the Pop Smoke thing's still been fucking with me.
That Pop Smoke shit crazy, son. You know what's crazy about it, son? It's like we lost a handful of people, right? But then this Pop Smoke shit is like, it hits different. And I've been trying to figure out why. Like why it hits different. And I don't know because it's an age thing or it's from New York. But I can't say it's an age thing because we lost Juice WRLD when he was 21. It didn't hit as hard as this. The biggest issue is
it's still tragic, but
it's tragic, yeah,
it's still different.
But the way more was affected was centered around like, oh, drug overdose and drug this, drug that. And then same thing with Mac Miller. Mac Miller passed, and it was like, man, you know, help him out with mental health and, you know, things like this. And Mac Miller was it was a big thing too. But the way this Pop Smoke thing is like, you would think like Tupac died again, or like Biggie died.
I wouldn't push it that far.
Listen, the way I've heard Pop Smoke music played over and over and over again, from Instagram feeds to Snapchat to in neighborhoods to people on the radio, and then people are talking about it, and then the music keep playing, and then they had a freaking hologram demand in Paris
France,
in a party.
I did
I'm like, what artist gets that? Tupac had that. You feel me? Like, what kind of many artists get holograms?
So there's actually two reasons why I won't say that it's like Tupac or Biggie dying, and I'm not saying that as lesser than or greater than. One, we were children. That's number one. So we weren't like consciously aware of what was going on around that time.
Well,
number two, social media was something completely different now than it is back then.
Well, it didn't exist back then.
Well,
to a certain degree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's kind of hard to like really like measure that out for us.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of just leave the Biggie thing as the Biggie thing. I leave the Tupac thing as the Tupac thing.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. It does feel weird. Something about that just doesn't sit right.
Yeah. Yes. Like his death can't be like, it's just not just like Mac Miller's death was like, it was settled. It had his fanfare, had his thing. It's like, okay, it's settled. Then Juice WRLD, it was settled. Pop is like, maybe because it's still kind of still early. Maybe it's still going on.
And it's close to home.
It's close to home. Like I said, it's close to home. It's very close to home. But it's like, it's still kind of like, it's kind of like a vibration that's still buzzing. 50 said he's going to complete his album. So he's going to have a posthumous album. So there's still like a lot of drive for him still, even after his passing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like, you know, Pop, I mean, Biggie had that too with Diddy with his albums that he released, stuff like that, and but you know, with pop, it's different. It's different. I don't know because it's a New York thing and how it's being driven that way and things like that. But I don't know. His death is just a little bit different than others in the culture right now. So.
Were you following that story about Spike Lee and the Knicks recently?
About him
having to use a different entrance.
Different entrance, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't let him use the employee entrance.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. They need to just nuke the entire Knicks organization and start all over again, bro. And me and my older brother was actually talking about this. Like, there should actually be like a James Dolan rule. If you own a team past a certain amount of years and you're you're up below 500, the NBA should just step in and be like, yo, bro, you gotta sell the team. It's over. It's over. You're fucking up our money now. It's New York City, bro.
Yeah.
New York City should always be good.
I mean, but New York City's always gonna have money. That's the thing. It's always the amount of money that they're losing at the Garden. Yeah, he says a lot of money we lost in Garden, but it's New York. Like, not many other. How many other states has a team in the city that could pull what New York can pull? Out of all the teams in the league, like what, maybe 5?
Yeah, if that in a nation, yeah.
5 leagues, you know, in the entire nation. So it's like, all right, New York has been what? Shit, man. The last time New York was pumping was Melo, if that.
Yeah,
and before Melo was.
And what's crazy is within the last like 20 plus years, they only made it out of the second round.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
It is terrible, but it's still New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, New York fans are so diehard. They're so diehard. Whether their team is ass, but if they have a glimpse of hope of somebody that they can watch who plays really well, who can bring, like, that's a fan going to the game. They can go see somebody that they enjoy watching is good. They'll go and support. The team management is like, all right, as long as we can bring people in, if there's somebody for them to come in, we still doing all right. People are still gonna come watch. Whether they're a freaking, you know, a under 30 team, under 30 wins team, under 20 wins team is like, as long as you're filling them seats or filling most of the seats, people are gonna go there.
But you see, I feel like
spend money.
I feel like the organization has to be good as a basketball organization first.
They should, yes, but and New York is not like that.
Yeah, it's just like you're gonna get attendance, you're gonna get money regardless.
The Garden is what is the most
world's most famous arena.
World's most famous.
And
it's famous for being famous. You can say that.
Max Kellerman was asking Spike Lee, "Are you gonna go back to like the Garden?" And then Spike Lee said, "I'm not going back this year." And then Max Kellerman was just like, "See, that's the problem. People like you need to stay away from the Knicks. They are cursed. They are literally hexed. Stay away, bro." And it's just like for them to treat you like that, bro. Like you've given like upwards of $10 million to the organization. Like you're essentially like part of the recruiting team at one point.
Yeah.
And that's how they treat you. And you're gonna go back next year, spend another $350,000. The fuck, yo.
Yo, Knicks is one thing, bro. Like, my dad's a diehard Knicks fan. Man, he hasn't cared for the Knicks in like over probably damn near a decade.
I keep telling people, if you want to live a happy life, just don't be a Knicks fan. Your blood pressure will go down. You'll be a lot less stressful.
For facts. Cause you know niggas in New York, man, they go hard. Like, niggas like, yo, that's my team. This is my block. This is this and that. So if they have a team that's worth repping, they gonna rep the shit out of them.
Yeah, there was a lot of pride behind being a Knicks fan, and I think it's a New York thing.
Yeah, it's a New York thing. So
super jaded, super prideful people. Yep. Super duper jaded though.
Yep. But that's just what it is. That's what it is. It's not quite unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate, bro.
That joint is crazy.
Yo, this is actually something that I want to pick your brain about too. I was actually having this conversation with my girl Lola, and she is kind of like, oh, how African black men, right, always tend to date white or date out of the race out of black, right?
Are we counting Spanish in that?
We can say Spanish, Asian, Caucasian. Anything that's not black, right? That's not like black. Mm-hmm. Culturally, not black. And you know, for me personally, yes, I can agree. I can say that black men do move differently against black women, I can see that.
How specifically? I don't want you to paint a broad stroke here.
No, I don't paint a broad stroke. Okay. Let's just compare the level of championing, each other, right? When it comes to supporting them in the facets of either, business, career, whatever they're doing, however, morally. And there are plenty of good women, plenty of good black women, and who are married to black men and just support, great. But as the overall blanket looking at it, you get a lot more, black men don't support black women the way black women support black men in multiple facets, however it is, right? Mm-hmm. And I see that, I'm like, okay, I can understand that because I see plenty of good women hurt or betrayed by black men for reasons that are like frivolous, like things are just like, why? Okay. So I thought to myself, I'm like, maybe black women put too much pressure on black men.
How so?
And I say that in a sense of, as a black, we're looking in America. I'm not saying any other country, here in America, right? A black woman has this level of expectation for a black man. Which is because of them being black. Like
what are some of the general expectations? I would rather you speak from experience, but what are some of the generalized expectations that you speak of?
I mean, I can't speak from major experience because my girl's black, so, but to seeing as how it's portrayed in a sense, like being a black man, being a black woman, being black in America in general, we're taught certain things. We're taught how to carry ourselves. We're taught how to the color of our skin, how it's viewed, the importance of it, how to represent yourself, the things that we've gone through as being black in America, through slavery and all these things, right? And the black man at home, and the black man being demasculated, and all these things. And women are kind of taught to support the black man, where they're raised to fight for the black man, support the black man, make sure the black man is good, so then he can take care of you in case of you. They're taught all these things, right?
Okay.
As a black man, maybe this generation or this how it is, right? They kind of go to another race, right? Because they don't because that other race doesn't have that expectation level that a black woman has. As a black woman walking around America, seeing another black man, automatically she's gonna think, okay, if you're attracted to him, automatically gonna think like, I like that black man. That black man should appreciate my skin, should appreciate his skin, he should appreciate our blackness in America. All the shit that comes with the blackness, all the things that we've been through, understand everything that being black is. Understand the struggles that a black woman goes through in America. All the things that they face as a black woman. To then for that black man to support that, to help her through that.
Well, your original question was why do you think black men turn to other races?
Yeah, because that black woman has all those expectations off rip in their head already, right? Off rip, that's already piled up there, right? A black man, sometimes maybe they can't initially come up to that level of expectation.
Okay, so why do black men step away from
But then they'll go to a Caucasian person, right?
Okay, so first and foremost, I want to address this, and this is something I've had thoughts on this before. Mm-hmm. The whole rhetoric of you can't control who you love, I think that's absolute horseshit. You do control who you love because you tend to love the people who you surround yourself by the most.
Right.
It's a reflection of your values and what you care about, and your potential future.
Right.
Do you know why I love black women? Because I'm always around them. I want to be around them. I've seen black women at their lowest and at their luxury points. You know what I mean? Luxury. So that.
See, there we go. Right. I like it.
And you know what's funny too. Speaking of like some of the luxury points of women. Hold on. Like some of the highest points of me like seeing black women is when we went to any carnival that we went to. Miami, Barbados, even here in New York too. Yeah. It's just like, especially in Barbados, that opened my mind to like something completely different. I'm like, no way. Yeah. She's fire. You turn your head over there, she's fire. Yeah, oh my god. It's
everywhere. Yeah.
All over the place. It's like literally some of the most beautiful black women that I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. And then now in my head it's just like, yo, if you don't like black women, you're this. I mean, if you have a preference, you have a preference. But you're bugging if you don't.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like
see, to think and people. I don't cut you off, but some people can misconstrue perception with you don't like because they're black, like you're anti-black or like you're not pro-black or like it's a preference. Like it doesn't mean that I don't understand or don't appreciate your blackness because I'm not into that. Like I'm not into black women or whatever. It's a preference. Like I prefer, I don't know, Asian women or I prefer whatever. It's a preference.
And you know there are other stigmas too. Like what have seen and I've heard. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just like guessing. Black women's attitudes are looked down upon, but then if you look at like a Spanish woman's attitude, it's like fetishized. Like, oh my god, that shit is sexy.
Okay, like she's spicy and like that and blah blah blah. Okay, I can. I mean, I don't think I've heard that, but I can. I've
literally heard black men and men period. Like, I would never date a black girl because they have attitude problems. But then that same person would be like chasing down Spanish women. If you like Spanish women, there's nothing wrong with that. And these are people that I know. I'm not making this up. These are people that I know. Mm-hmm. Said Spanish woman or said non-black person that they're dating has some of the most rude tendencies, crazy attitude, and if you ask me, just all around, just not a nice person. Does that mean that every Spanish person is not a nice person? No, but this person that I've came in contact with was not. So I think it has something to do, for lack of better terms, like the branding of black women, black American women at that.
Some of it. Okay, look. Some of it, yes. They're ghetto black women. They're ghetto Spanish women. They're ghetto
white women.
There's white trash. There's Asians. And like all that resides, right? This is what I mean. Maybe this is what I was trying to get at. Like the black man, that level of expectation is not reciprocated in any other race. All that things that I've named before that a black woman has in her mind that she wants from a black man, a white woman is not going to put that pressure on a black man. An Asian woman is not going to put that pressure. The only pressures that those other races will put on a black man is to be just a good man. That's it. Nothing else. Being a good man is a challenging thing by itself.
No, I think being a good man is just subjective to who the person is.
Whatever's good to them. You know what I'm saying? That there's good, whatever's good to them, right? Mm-hmm. But as a black woman, they'll want a good man, right? But when a good black man, that comes with all the expectations because you're black. A white woman, Asian woman, Spanish woman, maybe Spanish, Indian, they don't have that history that a black man and black woman has in America. They don't have it. So a black woman's expectation is going to expect for the black man to understand that.
Have you ever dated
outside of my race?
Yeah.
That's purely a different race? No. I've always dated black women.
Purely different? What does purely different mean?
I mean, I've dated black and Haitian, or black and like Spanish or whatever, like mix, but like black women, not Caucasian, Asian, Indian, Bangladesh, whatever.
You already know that whole like identity shit is very confusing to me. That shit is.
I didn't want it to like dive, but it was. I mean, that's we can get to that, but that's that's what I'm talking about with the whole black men. And like I said, like the pressures is different for a black man, for a black on black love versus black in a different race. Could black and white could be like, oh,
I think
mixing and stuff like that. But other than that, as a pressure from a woman's standpoint on, or expectation, say pressure and expectation.
You see,
on
and that, I don't want to speak for other people's, walks of life or races or nationalities, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Again, just from speaking from experience, I have seen people like trash black women for reasons that I just can't really understand.
Black men?
Black men, non-black men.
But they don't matter though. I'm talking about black men, like black men.
I've seen black men do it. I've seen black men do it.
Black women.
Yeah, and the person that I was talking about is a black man who, who was dogging out black women and then fetishized Spanish women, their attitudes, and it's the same shit.
The difference in his, my assumption or thinking so, right? The difference could be that as a black man, okay, black women, right? Like that's what you're familiar with.
Your mom is a black woman.
Your mom's a black woman. Like that's what you know, right? And the things that you know the good and you know the bad, right? You know the things that you can tolerate, you know the things that you don't tolerate, you know the things that annoy you, things that don't annoy you. As a black man looking at a black woman that has a certain level of attitude, you're gonna be like, I don't want to fuck with that. Like that's because you know that the blackness quote unquote, like, the blackness, that whatever, I don't want to deal with that. A Spanish woman or another woman or whatever, because in this case you said Latin, their attitude was kind of like, it's foreign. They're you can say attitude, like yeah, but because it's a Spanish woman, they're
it's something that you're unfamiliar with.
Exactly. You're not familiar with that attitude. In the sense, like a black woman attitude, you'd be like, oh, a black woman will complain to you, oh, you don't do this around the house, or why you look at her that way, or hey, whatever, and then you're familiar with that, that. I'm like, I'm not trying to deal with that. That shit is whack. That shit, you have attitude. That should get on my face. But let it be a different race. The black woman look fire. The other race look fire. They both look good. Whatever it is, however you like to preference a woman physically, boom, they look good. But her attitude is like, damn, like you turning me on, like because that shit is spicy. Oh, that it looks a certain is because that's not what you're used to. People seek things that's unfamiliar to them. Like it's like an aphrodisiac. It's different to them. It's like, oh yeah, that's different. I like that. I want to gravitate to that. I want to grab it. Yeah, I'm gonna fight for that. They'll fight for that.
Mm-hmm.
They'll like, yo, that's my shorty. She fire. I gotta go get that. That's my this and that. But let your black woman do that. Like, you on my get off me, son. Like you on my neck. Like what do you like? I'm not trying to hear that. But you go fight for shorties who treating you the same as that way.
And the idea too, what blows mine too, like the idea that like, if your girl is not giving you an attitude, she doesn't love you. Or if there is no problems, there is no dysfunction, your relationship is not real, or it's not functional, or it's not valid. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my fucking life.
It's very dumb but it comes from what we're taught at home, or what we see at home. May not be taught, but sometimes what we see at home. And also, who's telling you this? Like if someone teaches you something at home, don't fault the person. Like don't fault you as a person. That's what you're taught at home. It is what it is. It's for you to unlearn that.
Mm-hmm.
To go out in the world, unlearn that. You taught that at home. That's what it is. Your parents taught you, mother, father, whoever. That's what you learn. But if you say that, somebody on Facebook.com or Facebook or someone on Instagram says, oh, if love is not like this, it ain't right. Who are you? like who are you to say that love is this way or a relationship should be that way because someone tweeted it, someone put on an Instagram post that has 10, 15, 20,000 likes, and that like should be validating a lot of this stuff.
A lot of foolishness.
A lot of foolishness. Oh, a post about a relationship. Oh, love gotta be this way. It gotta be hard. Perfect.
What's so stupid? Like love is literally just based on whatever those two people or more agree upon. That's really all it is. There is no prepackaged
statement for love.
Yeah, there is no prepackaged for love.
No. Love is want to get technical, we can look up the actual definition.
I don't give a damn about them technical definitions, to be honest.
You can actually look at that shit, bro. If you really want to look at that shit. But at the end, like you said, love at the end of the day is what you and another person agrees on. Like, whatever you have in your relationship is what you guys two are connected to, and that's what it is. Like, because your love, quote unquote, is different from somebody else's love, quote unquote, your love is not right. Because it's not, it doesn't reflect what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Or because a certain notion of love makes a lot of people happy. See, that's also a thing too. When a certain thing works for the masses, doesn't mean it'll work for you.
And it doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to. And you shouldn't be chastised because it doesn't work for you, or you want it to be a way for you. You know, there are people who find love and happiness in a polygamous relationship. There are people who find love and happiness in a non-title relationship. Like, they don't have to say they're boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, or wife, so whatever it case may be. They find love in their companionship. That's just how it is. Some people can find love literally within themselves. They don't care to ever be with anybody.
Or their cats.
Or their cats, or their dogs. Like, and people say, like, speaking of, like, their dog died. Like, oh, why are you so distraught? Like, oh, they're not human. It's love.
I had a connection with it.
It's a connection. It's a very deep and passionate connection with. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be an animal. If you love that thing or whatever it is, and it's gone, you're gonna be hurt. So I never judge anybody who loses a cat or a dog or a fish or anything, whatever. Like, you love it, okay, you love it.
Mourn it. Go ahead.
That's it. It is what it is.
But yeah, man.
Simple as that.
All right, give him your Twitters one more time. Let's get off of here, man. We've been on here for like an hour and a half.
Oh, shit, that long?
Yeah, man. Told you.
Damn.
It flies.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that long. Yeah, so my personal Instagram is Debonair Egbo. Debonair, DEBONAIREGBO. Debonair Egbo. And then, my business account is Egbo_collections. And the website is egbocollections.com. Yeah, I mean, this was cool. Matt, thank you for inviting me. This was dope. This is my first time, as I said, in front of a camera. I'm used to public speaking, but this is kind of like different. I mean, it was dope. I like it. I mean, like I said, regular
easy.
Conversation. Yeah,
it's easy.
So, appreciate you having me out here in the boonies.
It ain't the boonies. It ain't the boonies.
And the boonies and shit, man. And yeah, that's what's up, man.
I appreciate you coming out, man.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, MattViolinist Podcast, baby. You already know what it is. We out.